You saw the live? Okay, then I'm gonna share the live into the Telegram, and then I think we are good to go. So on. Okay, Telegram.
Yeah, we are live. Okay.
Okay, so let's us wait a while for the Facebook audience to gather. Yep.
Sure.
And I'm gonna post it into the Telegram. Okay. You have to mute your audio. Mute the Facebook audio. Yeah, there is quite a bit of delay. So if you have both, right, then it'll be a problem.
Okay.
Okay, I've posted. So let's check. Do we have people online now? Funny, I can't find the audience though. Hi. Oh, we got 7 viewers. That's good. Hi. So welcome to another series of the Outliers interview. And today we are actually interviewing someone special. She has a dual role. She's a avid tracker and also she's one of our UI coach. So let's just wait a while for more people to join the Facebook Live. And if you guys can help us share the post on your Facebook, that will be very much appreciated so that more people can join this Facebook Live. Okay, so let's start the interview. Okay, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to another session of UI Outliers interview. So this is Paul Chen, and I'm one of the co-founder of Ultimate Investing, and I'll be your host tonight. So allow me to share a little bit about ourselves if you are new to Ultimate Investing. So actually Ultimate Investing combines fundamental technical analysis together using our FATA option strategies to allow investors to gain an unfair advantage. Okay, so please give us a like, comment, or share this broadcast. Your help actually goes a long way. Okay, so today we are actually happy to have Regina with us to share about her investing journey. Regina, as I said previously, is an avid tracker and works as a project consultant. And before we invite Regina online, we would like to announce that there will be a prize at the end of this session for the most engaging chatter. When we say engaging, it means you share the post and you participate in the chat. Okay, so there will be a prize, okay, for the most engaging chatter, and you'll get a prize from Ultimate Investing. The results will be announced on our Ultimate Investing Facebook page. So we will do the announcement actually on Sunday. So now let us now welcome Regina online. Regina, are you there, Regina?
Yes, I'm here. Hello everyone.
Hi, Regina. So how has your day been?
My day. Actually today quite fulfilling, but at the same time also quite nervous leading up to this interview. It's my first time being interviewed like that. So but then right now there's also a bit of a adrenaline rush, perhaps due to the excitement.
Okay. So this is actually your first interview. So let me just share the PowerPoint. So now actually you don't have to be so nervous because once I share the PowerPoint, your face will become very small. So that helps a bit. Yeah, so Regina is actually a tracker and also one of our UI coach. So maybe the first question I have for Regina is actually, would you like to share more about your love for tracking and what prompts you to start learning about investing?
Yeah, sure. So actually for trekking is a little bit of love-hate relationship. And in fact it's a little bit of addiction for me. So this addiction kind of started about 11 years ago, when I was just getting started into the workforce. And all along I am you can say I'm restless, itchy feet, always looking for something to do, especially outdoor activities, adventure. So those days, to kind of meet up with like-minded people in trekking, just so happened there's this startup called meetup.com. So people were forming some interest group in meetup.com, and one of it was hiking. I found hiking, and it was through meetup.com that I kind of got started. So, and why I can sustain trekking up to today, and why I love it so much, but at the same time also hate it. Not really say hate it, but it's not the easiest thing to do, you see. So I think there's a few things in combination. It's meeting new people, and then finding amidst the new people you find like-minded people. And then it's also the good after the tough, the fun. And then especially for Malaysia treks, the good food that comes after that. So in just one activity, trekking, there's so many good things in it. So I also feel it is a little bit of the feel good factor at play, that I am able to sustain this activity. The feel good factor is the feeling that comes after you can climb if you want to, no matter how steep the ascent is. So, and then after conquering that, you get to applaud yourself. So it's a little bit of when you go for the trekking, during the process, you would tell yourself, why did I spend money, to come for such torturous activity, so dirty, so sweaty, and then you feel tired, hungry, no good food. You don't really bring good food up. I do know of people that bring very good food up, but that's additional load. But then after that, when you successfully conquer that difficult ascent, then it's a very very good, a huge sense of achievement. So during the process, you'll say, okay, I'm not going to do it again next time. But then the craving for the desire to do it again comes right after you finish the climb. So it's a little bit of love hate, and that's why I say it's also a form of addiction. Yeah.
I see.
So
Yeah. Actually, I think the audience can also see on the screen. We have a montage of all, well, not all, but I mean some of the highlights of your trekking trip. So I
yes.
can see that there is this one which is Mount Kilimanjaro. So that's actually where is that, Kilimanjaro?
Okay, Kilimanjaro is at Tanzania. So
Okay.
that was the most recent climb. And just so happened that after I did the climb, 1 or 2 months after the COVID situation came about. So I was very glad I went for this climb just right before the COVID. And in
Oh, so it
fact,
was quite recent. This was in 2019.
2019,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. In fact, this climb was one of the most memorable, and therefore I sent it to Paul for some highlights here, because the climb itself is not difficult, but it's the thin air that makes it very difficult. And you got to ascend at about midnight on the last day of submitting the top. You got to wake up very early, like 12, and then you basically walk and walk in a very slow pace, because the air is so thin that any every small action, as simple as just squatting down, you got to pant very hard. So the difficulty is in this small little actions up in the mountain where the air is very thin. It's not the climb itself that's very tough, and it's very memorable because we slept outdoor. and we got ourselves also a private toilet, which is basically a tent and a toilet bowl. But that was the most worth it investment for that trip, because the public toilet is just horrible.
So your use that means there's helper to carry the toilet up, is it?
Yes, amazing how
Okay.
big the project is for this whole trip, because there is about 10 porters to each one of us. So there is about 4 porters to each one of us. So we have seven of us. That's basically about 28 to 30 porters. And of course, they are responsible for different things. But every day, in the morning, once we start moving out, they would clear the toilet and then bring the toilet bowl to the next campsite. So they do this every single day. We're like,
So I didn't hear wrongly, 4 porters to 1 tracker.
Yes.
Wow.
4 porters. That is why also this trip is the most pricey one I ever did.
Yeah, I guess so. A lot of manpower involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then down below you can see the tent we were sleeping in, and then the green one behind the orange ones is actually something like our R&R corner. Every day we finish by about lunchtime, then we'll just camp there and then play mahjong, mini set mahjong.
Oh my god. How many days was this trek? How many days was it, this trek?
9 days. 9 days. It was a 9 days trek. Yeah.
Okay.
And no showering.
9 days no showering, but at least can go toilet. Okay. That's interesting. Wow. And I see on the signboard, I think is it how high is this mountain? Is it 6,000? Close to 6,000 feet?
Yeah, close to 6,000 meters. Close to
meters.
6,000.
Okay, 6,000 meters. That's almost like Mount Everest base camp. Similar.
Yes, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I heard Mount Everest base camp is about 6,000 and something along there. Yeah, and that's also a very challenging hike. Okay. Maybe we go to the next picture on the right, on the top right. This looks like a more relaxing one. Beautiful sky. From the look of it, looks like Europe. Where is this?
Yes, this is Tour du Mont Blanc. So there is this trek, TMB, we call it in short TMB, that crosses 3 countries: Switzerland, France, and Italy. So every 2 days we would switch country. And what's interesting about this trek is that there are certain points up on around the ridges where basically if you're at the border, your left foot can be at France and then your right foot is at, say, Italy. So that's the interesting part about this. And also, yes, in a way, this trek is more relaxing. You get to absorb the scenery. Every day is changing scenery. And then the best part is at night, it's good food. We stay in lodges. Although it's called lodges, but it's very, very well maintained homestay. 1 or 2 nights in certain hotels, but mainly we were staying in some lodges. And then because it's in Europe, they drink red wine every night, and then we get hot shower also. So basically, this is quite the most luxurious trip, I would say, that I ever went for.
Quite extreme in terms. Okay. And the picture here on the bottom right, is that one of the hosts, or is this also in Mont Blanc or no?
Yes, correct. This is in France. It's in one of the lodge, and the lady, the European lady in the center wearing black is our guide.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see the red wine glasses on everybody's in front of everybody's plate.
Yeah, the greenish. It looks like a greenish soup. I don't know. Is it? I don't know.
It's a vegetable. It's a vegetable soup. I can't remember what vegetable was it. It's something that we haven't heard of one. But it
Okay,
tastes a
okay,
bit like spinach. It tastes a bit like spinach.
okay, nice. And then maybe you go back to somewhere nearer. So the bottom center picture is I think Malacca. So I think Malaysia is one place where you go pretty often for trekking before COVID, right? Maybe even as
Yes.
a training ground.
Yeah, because it's you know, in Singapore we don't have much places to train
We got Mount
except for,
Faber lah and Bukit Timah Hill. That's
yeah,
about it.
basically this two, and it's quite crowded during the weekends.
Mm.
Plus there's it's only so high, so you got to do many rounds to get sufficient training. So Malaysia trips is a very good training ground because of their terrain. It's their climbs are not easy, and also because it's, you can treat it like a holiday. After the climb, you get to eat good food, and then
Okay,
sometimes
okay.
you get certain activities like ATV riding or waterfall abseiling, that kind of thing. So basically, one weekend you can do a lot of things. And Malaysia is one weekend, one you just need to take an overnight coach, and then you will reach your place of climb, and then start, and then you come back on Sunday. So it's basically a very chop chop short and sweet kind of trip.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really a avid trekker. I mean, the most toughest one I did was KK, Kinabalu. And I think me and my wife, we did that almost 10 years ago. And when we were training for it, we go Bukit Timah Hill and stuff like that. And then we walk for long areas. Then we realized that when we reached there, right, we did the wrong training. Because for those who have been to Kota Kinabalu, it's all steps. So the more appropriate training for that is actually to climb steps, which is
Yes.
we could have climbed our apartment steps. So in the end, we went there, we really suffer and for 3 days, 2 nights. I mean, it's a good experience, but after that, it's like, wow, the legs totally like so super tired because of the stair climb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
So, but I think for the Kilimanjaro, is it similarly a lot of steps or it's like combination?
Okay, Kilimanjaro, not much steps. Definitely some ascent, gradual ascent, and
Okay.
the ascent is some small areas only, but the ascent is tough because of the thin air. So even a small step up is you breathe very heavily. So basically, uh, right at the start, when we first kickstart our trek, the guide has kind of brainwashed us on two things. When we hear this word pole pole, it's basically their language for slow. So each time we heard pole pole, we would go really very slow. And from first day, we started at that kind of slow speed, just so that our body can acclimatize to the altitude. Otherwise, there is risk of getting AMS, the altitude mountain sickness.
Understand.
Mm.
Okay. I think we spent a lot of time talking about trekking because it was really interesting. But maybe we
Yeah,
should
don't get me
switch
started.
back
I
to
can go on.
yeah, we can do a special feature on that. But let's switch back to the focus of today.
Yep.
So what prompts you to start learning about investing?
Okay. In investing is also something. It's not an idea that came just recent 2 years, but in fact, I have this idea to learn about investing about also when I just got started into the workforce, which is about 10, 11 years ago. And at that time, I did a few things. I tried to read books about stock market, ETFs, but after a while, the interest to want to know investing kind of faded off, because whatever I was reading and learning for myself at that time, right, it seemed a bit too profound for my intellect. Then plus at that time, I have no one to guide me along. My friends weren't doing it, and I also don't know how to start. So all I know, that I wasn't in any environment, or I did not have any chance to kind of really get started. And then plus all those horrible stories about stock market from your parents, from your auntie, uncle. So it was just easy not to get to know more about it, which I now understand that investment is actually not dangerous if you know what you're doing. So at that time, I also actually even attended a option course, but that didn't kind of result in anything, because after the course, I didn't have any support and I wasn't too sure on what, I mean, at that point you seem to understand, but when it came to the actual execution, I wasn't sure whether alone by myself, whether I was doing it correct. So then it was quite, there was some fear, and so the easiest thing was to just cast it aside again and then get on with my not so dangerous life. Then fast forward to 2018, that idea to learn about investing came back again, and this time around I feel a very strong urge to there is a need to do something and slowly kind of build a system where I can slowly take the reliance of a paycheck. So that's when I set my mind and I decide to learn about investing again. So, and at that time, just nice, I met Paul. So to give a little bit of background about how I met Paul and subsequently get to know about UI is during, I think it was late 2018. I was helping Korea trip. I was helping a friend to lead this cycling trip in Korea, and Paul and his wife happened to be part of the group. So during that cycling trip in Korea, in fact, at that time, I didn't have much chance to chat with Paul, and I actually didn't know what he do. But all I know at that point of time, he came across as a very, very nice guy. So after the Korea trip, you know, the idea about investing was at the back of my mind, and because after trip you add each other on Facebook, I forgot who add who, but one day I saw Paul's post about financial freedom. It so resonated with me because that's something I have always been trying to set out to achieve for myself. And then through his Facebook profile, I got to know he is an investor. So at that time, I thought, maybe I can get in touch with Paul, since it's not too long after we came back from Korea. You know, there's some common ground. So I got in touch with Paul and told him that I want to understand more about investing. So then okay, we set a date and time, and we had a kopi session. So yeah, that kopi session was quite rewarding, I would say. Throughout the whole conversation, I could sense that in fact, Paul didn't immediately tell me about his plan. So he tried to find out more about me, at which level I am, whether I had some experience. Then after that, he started to mention very excitedly about his new adventure with his two other friends, Ivan and Paul, who are the co-founders of Ultimate Investing also. So when I heard about this, honestly at that time I am not so sure about whether I want to embark on a trading course with them, because you know about courses. My very first option course didn't result in anything, and I was also a little bit skeptical because courses can cost a bomb. I'm not even sure whether I can make back the money. I pay this amount, whether I can make back the amount that I paid. So then at that point of time when he told me, I was actually a little bit skeptical, but I kind of like also at the same time what I'm hearing from Paul, for based on their vision for UI, the community. I like he mentioned briefly about their experiences combined. I like that as well. And then I actually like the idea of them flying to Australia and discuss about this whole ultimate investing thing, because it shows some effort. It really shows that they are out to do something. And when he told me about the hand holding part, that is something that kind of got me sold, because I really need that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, actually, that was very interesting time because when I met Regina at that time, from my perspective, we are in the midst of preparing for ultimate investing. I think that was 2 months before our official launch of class and stuff like that. So actually, theoretically, right, Regina is actually our first customer, first number one
Yes, I
customer.
remember. I was
001, I think. Yeah,
one.
the number one, because the course wasn't finalized yet and stuff like that. So I told
Yeah,
Regina, if you can hold on for 2 months, once we are ready, I'll let you know. Yeah, so
yeah.
so in the end, we did manage to enroll her, but that was quite interesting. So yeah, so after joining the course, you also took up coaching with us because you like the hand holding, right? So even
Yes.
after that, after a while, when we were actually looking out for coaches, you actually volunteered yourself to be one of the coaches. So what prompts you to do that? Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy decision, because I was still new, you see. But there are of course definitely a few reasons that built up to that courage in me applying to be a coach with UI. So definitely, results is one. No results, no talk, right? I mean, if I don't have any
Yep.
results, then it doesn't. It just means that I wasn't too successful with UI. Yeah, so during the coaching period, there is this challenge called 30 days challenge. So
Oh
within this
yes,
30
yeah,
days, yeah, you
yeah.
will do certain trades, and with equipped with all the UI strategies. At that time, I really felt I was quite invincible in that. Now that I have the strategies, got entry signal, what can go wrong, right? So I start the 30 days challenge really proved me wrong, because it was I basically lose on every trade. It was a sea
Okay.
of red. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I can share a little bit about my story, or if I can share the
Okay.
screen.
Sure. All yours. I stopped sharing
Yeah.
on my side. Yeah.
Okay, for those of you uh Facebook audience, I'm going to share a little bit about my journey. Can you see my slide, Paul?
Yep, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So on the leftmost is the Facebook post I shared sometime last year, July. The words might be a bit small, but basically I was sharing with the UI community that I didn't started off very well. In the middle screenshot, you can see that every trade of mine was red, every single trade. So if you put yourself into my shoe, my position, you can feel how demoralized I was at that point of time. But also thankfully, during the 30 days challenge and during the end of the coaching session, there is this one-to-one session with Ivan, who is another co-founder of this, a master trainer of this UI coaching session. He basically can look at your trade and tell you what kind of style and what kind of temperament you are doing. So I remember very vividly that he told me you got to be more selective on your trade. So in other words, he's saying I'm very loose with my trades lah. Basically, a little bit of crosses at the indicators, then I would treat it as okay, can enter. Yeah. So we
A bit trigger happy.
yeah,
Trigger
correct.
happy and a bit of anticipation. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I don't play Pokemon, but I do know people, they throw ball like it's free. Yeah, something
Yeah.
along that line. Yeah, so after that review, it had a very big impact on me. Although it was just simple words like you got to be more strict on your trades, but I interpret it as I did not pay too much attention to details, and along the way I learned that actually when you see certain signals, you can also check for further things to kind of confirm the entry. So then after that review, I actually start to do better. I kind of restart in 2020 to do the trading again. So the middle screenshot that you see was actually late 2019. So 2020, I restart again with the intention of being more selective with my trades. And you can see from the third screen that the result was quite good. I was before down 30% in my portfolio. But after that, as I got more experience, more learning points, and being more selective with my trades, my ROI improved by quite a bit. Yeah.
So what is the time? Sorry, what is the time period? I mean, the first 30 days challenge we know is immediately 30 days after your coaching session. Then that was a negative 30%. Then
Yes.
how long after then you got your 114 ROI for your portfolio? What's the time frame between this?
About 2-3 months, because
2-3 months. Okay.
because the 30 days challenge was late 2019, and then because of this sea of red, I took a break. I listened. I mean, Ivan told me maybe you step back and then not do anything for a while. I say maybe possible, because I was also going for my Kilimanjaro trip. No connection, no nothing. I cannot even look at news. So it was a very good break for me. And then I came back because it was a vacation. I came back very happy, hyped up, energized again. Then I tried to go into trading again. But actually the first few trades that I did when I came back from the holiday, it wasn't good as well. I was like, okay.
But you persevere, and in the end you got the 100 over percent for your oil portfolio.
Because I feel it's not something wrong. It's not something wrong with UI. It's something that must be on my side, because the rest of my batchmates are making results, making some good money. But how come my trades, even though we enter the same one, how come mine is red? So then slowly you get to learn. You kind of see certain learning points, and then slowly when you apply them, things start to get better. So bringing back to why I applied for coaching is because results, and personally I felt the difference I get when I have somebody to really coach me and guide me along, instead of me searching around for answers on why are things not working well for me. So these two, and then the last one is really the philosophy or ideology of ultimate investing. When I heard from you, Paul, which is to really help people improve their life. And at that point of time, I really felt UI did improve mine, not just on the financial aspect, but also I feel more empowered. It's like after learning all these things, right, it's like a new life skill added to the skills that you have. It's like even before I became a coach, right, it's something that I feel I kind of
you feel that you start to have a level up and have a certain power. And I think in a way you feel like, hey, since I gained this, I want to pay it forward, and I can help other people by doing this. That's very nice. Okay, yeah, but it's true, because the whole idea of UI, we always talk about community, is because I mean, I have been investing for 20 years. Ivan has been investing for 20 years, and we realized, and we have been coaching 7 to 8 years before this. So we sort of know what new investors or investors who are a bit unsure of themselves, what they need. They really need the hand-holding. And the best way to go forward is to have a community. So that's why when we first started UI, the whole thing is it needs to be a community that will push each other towards their financial freedom. So this is what the ultimate investing is all about. Yep. So yeah, so I'm glad Regina really benefited and joined us as a coach. And frankly, right, when Regina applied as a coach, I mean, we were a bit apprehensive also because of her inexperience. But I think her diligence and also her ability to pick up things quickly, following rules and stuff like that, won us over and say, hey, I think Regina really can help other people. And I think what is most important is she has the heart. She has the heart to actually reach out to help other people. So I think that's what makes the difference. But I think Regina has been a coach with us for almost close to a year now, slightly less maybe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think there will be some newbies, really newbies investor here, either in the UI community or you haven't joined us. So maybe as a total beginner to investing, right? I understand your portfolio, you actually start with a small portfolio. Do you mind discussing, telling us how big is that portfolio when you started off?
Yeah, sure. So when I got started, I already have in my mind that I will start off with Sing dollars 5,000, and
Okay.
when that gets translated into USD, is about USD 3,005. Yeah.
Okay. So 3,005, which is considered, I mean, still considered a smallish portfolio to start with. Yeah. So do you, along the way when you manage such a portfolio, let's say if there are people who are in similar shoe as you, what advice do you have for our audience that is starting with, let's say, a portfolio of maybe 3 to 4K USD?
Okay. Yeah. So the reason why most of us, some of us start off with a small portfolio is a few reasons. Like if you want to test water, but regardless the case, I think it would be something that you are okay to lose it all and still lead your normal life. It shouldn't be an amount that you will lose sleep over. So with a small portfolio, yes, there are a few things based on my own journey and experience. I think number one, very important, is when you have a small portfolio, you really need to have the patience and discipline. These two together, and they are not mutually exclusive. Patience and discipline. Why I say that is because smaller capital, it will mean you have less options to go into because of your capital size. And
yeah, example,
also,
some stock symbols with a higher price in terms of dollar value than
correct.
by following the UI rule of portfolio sizing, position sizing, you are not able to enter. So that's one of the cons.
Yeah, correct. It's a little bit of I would say vicious cycle in there because of your smaller capital. You can only go for lower price stocks that reduce your number of alternatives that you can go into. But then at the same time, the more expensive stocks are actually can gain you more profit. So yeah, it's a vicious cycle, but then it doesn't mean you cannot move on. So patience and discipline, the gains would be smaller, and you will take a longer time to grow your initial capital, but recognize that it is okay. I also understand that we all want quick bucks in a short period of time, because I basically come from that point too. But when you lose enough, when it's painful enough, then you will learn that, okay, you got to be more disciplined. Because I definitely have played kind of went out of the rule a bit, in that I traded more bigger than I should. But during those time, I observed that I was very affected emotionally, in that I'm quite worried, I'm quite panicky, and I do lose sleep over. It's not something that people just say for fun. You really lose sleep over traits that you are vested in too much. So then, after those lessons, for the wellness of my emotions and state of being, I decided to, okay, stick to my portfolio sizing. And then I also recognize that when 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 you stick to the rules and when you slowly consistently make money, right, it's actually more assuring and you gain more confidence. So then that I realized, consistency is something that is crucial to gaining mastery. I'm not saying that I have mastered the skills to always make profit. There's still ups and downs, but I think trading after a while is very much about emotions. So I would always tell myself, if I cannot make $100, what makes me think that I can jump straight to making 1,000? I mean, basically
Mm.
you could, but there's a lot of intricacies involved in the emotion part that make you less likely to reach your results.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think what Regina you bring out is two very good points. One is look at the percentage. That means track your gains and losses based on percentage instead of the actual amount. Because if you can make a certain percentage based on amount, then actually when your capital become bigger, the same percentage will reflect in your gains and your
Yeah.
profit. So that's one thing. I think the other one I think you talk many times about is emotional control, which is actually very hard for us to teach. But we start to realize that this is so crucial that we just have to, during coaching, just have to keep nagging at you guys until you all get it into your system. And then when you experience it yourself, you really feel it. So I think you went through that process of not able to sleep soundly because you overtrade on
Yes.
your position and stuff like that. So I think for any
Very
beginners,
well.
right, this is something which is a deadly, I would say a highly high chance that you run into this, and then you really have to experience it, and then you okay, I won't do it again. So yeah, some questions. I just want to take some questions now.
Okay.
Paley is asking any advice for new investors. So I think we answered a bit of that, as in always look at the percentage. Do not trade overly out of your position size. Any like one sentence advice for new investor you would like to give Haley? Yeah.
For new investors,
Yeah. I think she's new. Yeah. So Paley is one of the student who enrolled in our course also. So I think she's relatively new like you 2 years
mm,
ago. So
mm.
any maybe just one advice that you have for new investors.
Okay, yeah, I actually do have, for new investors, right? Just stay foolish. Keep on asking
Yeah.
questions.
Okay,
Keep on
that's a good
asking
one.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good one because end of the day, when you're new, right, anything that you learn is new. So you just try to absorb as a sponge and
Yeah.
learn as much things as you can. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so Paley says she's still trying paper money now, which is good because
Mhm.
paper money allows you to make mistake and it will not be so painful because it's still paper trading. Actually, a lot of people don't realize that paper trading is a very good form of training. They think I must use real money in order to really feel it. True in a certain sense, but if you treat your paper account like any other real money account,
Mm.
then you will get the similar learning experience from there. So Paley,
Yeah.
no worries. I think paper money is good. Just keep doing that and slowly progress. Yeah. So Celine has some question. She say that when you see the rates in your first 30-day challenge, right? She say it's very stressful. So how do you keep yourself motivated during that 30 days? Or it's like the 30 days you yeah, just get more and more demoralized. Yeah.
The,
How was
the,
that?
the,
Yeah.
yeah, the 30
first 30
days
days,
was,
yeah.
I mean, like just looking at the sea of red, besides feeling demoralized, that is for sure. But I was also very puzzled at the same time.
Okay, so
Because
it's a bit like, is the system working? You know, is it something wrong with me? Is it you start to like doubt the system a little bit? Right?
actually,
I guess it's normal. People will do that. Yeah.
at that point of time, I don't doubt the system, because um the paper trading, I did make profit.
Okay.
So I know that the strategies does work, and also
Okay.
because I have results from my peers,
Hmm.
batchmates who
Hmm.
entered in, because at that point of time, we were all sharing different the trades on Facebook. So
Yep.
we kind of went into the same trade, perhaps at different strike price, that kind of thing. But why is it that they are green and I'm red? I mean, what is it that is wrong with me? I must be the X factor. So
Ah.
I was more puzzled than losing faith at that point of time, honestly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. Celine also have another question. You say,
sure.
what is the difference between the previous option class that you attended and the one compared to ultimate investing? Yeah.
Mm,
Maybe.
the
Yeah.
difference, yes, is the hand holding part. That
Okay.
is why
So
I
the
told you.
previous course doesn't have that. It's like you attend a course, you after the 2 or 3 days, then after that, yeah, you're on your own.
Yeah, basically left swimming by yourself, and
Okay. Okay.
I also did not get to learn what is really option. So it's very much okay. They tell you when you see this, execute these strategies, that kind of thing, without going into detail what is option. Maybe they
Ah.
expect us to know what is options, but because there is no fundamental knowledge about what you are doing, you're just basically like there's a system you can apply. So it's very hard to also know whether you're doing it correctly or not. And there's nobody to cross check with. So after the course,
Okay.
maybe you have one or two friends, but they also unsure, all unsure together, then slowly die off
Okay.
already.
Understand. Yeah. So it boils down to the community, lah. You say when you got a
Yes.
community to learn together, you can ask questions, and you got a very good mindset because you say stay foolish. You know, keep asking
Mm,
questions and stuff like that. Then you will actually gain a lot from the community by doing
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yep. Nice. So awesome insights. Maybe two more questions before we expose more questions. If you guys got questions for Regina, please do ask in the comments. And at this point in time, I also encourage you all to share this post so that more people can be reached and like our Ultimate Investing Facebook. So at Ultimate Investing, we actually teaches FATA and options.
Mm.
So after doing this for about 2 years, can you share what is your current investing style with our audience?
Yeah, sure. Um, so in UI, we primarily learn strategies that are applicable for trading, but the concepts behind are also quite applicable to long-term investing as well. So as time goes, I kind of have my own game plan for what I want to achieve over a longer period of time. And I know that in order to take off the reliance of a monthly paycheck, right? So I need to set up something that is going to be my monthly paycheck moving forward. So for my uh, capital, I would say 80 to 90% went into dividend stocks,
Okay.
because those are going to be my ATM when the time is right. And for now, I mainly invest in Hong Kong, Singapore, and a little bit in US. But then I use trading as a way to build up the bullets
Mm.
for my war chest, which is better ROI within a shorter time frame. And I use this profit to then transfer to my dividend stocks to compound the growth. So basically,
Mm.
that's what I'm kind of doing right now for my own game plan.
I see. Very interesting. But you have the one which is mainly trading is basically to generate more cash flow at a faster rate. But
Yes.
then once you generate the profits, you actually park it into uh, dividend stocks
Stocks.
that
Yes.
can actually generate you regular income in the longer in the later years as
Mm,
you go. So by
correct.
doing this, you are actually it's very smart because what you are doing is you are actually transferring the risk. I mean, you are risking a smaller
Yes.
money to get more money, but then after
Yes.
that you park that into the bigger dividend stocks where you get consistent income, but
Mm,
you are reducing your overall risk much more by doing
yes.
this.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
okay, that's very interesting. Yeah, so that's why in ultimate investing, although we teach you FA, we teach you TA, and teach you options, and most of the students who started off will go into options to generate faster cash flow. But actually, I think what Regina do is totally correct, and which is what I myself is doing because I'm more a fundamentalist. So end of the day, right, I still believe in dividend stocks. I still believe in more stable companies and stuff like that. So I also use a smaller portion of my money to trade, but the bigger portion of money is actually in dividend stocks and on stable growth stocks.
Mm,
So
mm.
very interesting. Okay. Um, can you share some profitable trades you did this year just to share with our audience?
Yep. Sure. Sure. Let me share screen.
Yeah,
Can
you're
you?
still sharing though.
Oh, I'm still
So
sharing.
is
Oh,
it the
yeah,
same
yeah,
slide
yeah,
or
yeah.
you have to? Yeah,
Okay, okay. You can see the two ticker symbols, Twitter and
not yet.
not yet.
It's yeah, the two sticker symbol.
Or maybe I need to stop.
Yes. No,
Can?
no, no. Saw it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So this year I did a few trades and two of it is Twitter and Trip.com. So for Twitter, you can see that I bought into more than one contract. Same for Tcom. And why I'm sharing these two trades for this year is, of course, not just because it's making money, but what I'm trying to share here is also when I first started off, I can only buy one contract at that time because of
Mm,
my capital size. So as
mm,
I slowly grew my capital based on winnings, I start to be able to go into more than one contract, and this has actually been a huge booster for me because then I am able to take profit for say one or two contracts and then leave the rest to run, because in UI we are taught to let your profits run, right? But of
mm,
course you can also take profit when you are happy, but at the same time, inside you will be wondering what if it goes higher. So this style of trading where I can trade multiple contracts right now has been a huge boost to improving my capital size, because while I can take profit, uh, especially when it hits 100%, it means basically whatever you first traded, you have recovered already. So
yep.
whatever happens to the rest is you will like what Ivan, one of the co-founders, say is you will feel more at ease whether it goes up or goes down. That's the market direction. But at least at that point of time, whatever you have invested, you have taken profit. So if the remaining contract with the remaining contract, if the price goes in the direction in your favor, then that's a bonus. So by slowly improving the capital size that I have and moving into this form of being able to trade multiple contracts, right? Actually, that is a huge boost to my capital. So that's the reason why I want to share this. It's not just because it's making money, but
Mm,
also trying to show that you can be slow, but one important thing is that as long as you are making progress, you are already winning. If you compare yourself to before and you are really like improving, right? Even if your profit is smaller than what your community members is making is still a win. So it's my own race. As long as I feel I'm winning, I'm progressing, then I'm winning.
Interesting. I saw in Twitter, you actually entered 4 contracts, is it?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and each one actually your ROI is all over 100%.
Yeah, and
Okay.
actually for Twitter, the remaining 2 contracts that I didn't sell off after the 100% profit is because it was reaching the resistance level. So then I thought, okay lah, just take profit. But then after that, it shot all the way up. Yeah.
Well, we always there's always take profit too early. There's always problem, or take profit too late. Yeah.
That's why it's
So
yeah.
you can never have the perfect timing, but I mean most people will be happy. I mean the audience, are you happy with 145% in your trade? And this is in a matter of less than 2 weeks. I look at the timestamp, the date entered and date exit is about 2 weeks. Are you all happy with 145% in 2 weeks? If you are, can you just type in happy? Okay, if you're happy, can you just type in happy? Okay, somebody asking for stock picks for tonight. Okay, later come by. Yeah, I think okay. So I think Paley has some question also. She's I think very eager to learn from you. So one of the question is for first time investor, how long do you spend time to monitor the market before you enter? How long do you spend time to monitor before you enter?
The prep work lah.
Yeah.
Actually the prep work not very long. I use the weekend, maybe about 45 minutes to scan through my watch list just to see whether there are potential trades or not. So after you kind of filter those potential trades down, come the when the market opens, you basically go through a shorter list already, the potential ones, and then I mean the first hour is usually quite volatile, so I use that time to either just take a look a little bit at the market, but 1 hour later, then I will look again and see if there's really entry signal. If there is, then I will enter and then go to sleep. I don't, yeah, but I mean, I don't dwell on it too long, because the longer you stare at it, the more you start to see. You start to form your opinion.
You see what you want to see.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Yeah, so the other trade was T-Com. I think this was, you say, a S1 trade, and again, close to 100%. Well, two contracts. One is 93%, one is 130%. Okay. Wow, very nice. I think this will inspire all other new investors to really, those who have either joined our course, they'll be inspired to brush up the skills, and those who haven't, right, they'll be eager to join our course. Okay, so I don't think we have much time left, so maybe just one last question for Regina. Oh, the market actually starts now. Yeah, so can you actually draw some parallels between tracking and investing? Since you like tracking so much and now you are doing investing quite diligently, do you draw some parallels? Is there some similar traits between these two that are useful for both disciplines?
Yeah, there's definitely some. In fact, I never thought about trying to link tracking to investing until this
interview.
Interview, trying to find similarities. But I feel the more important one, there's 2 important ones that I really want to share, is the mental strength in tracking. Is if the tracks that you're going for is not the walk in the park, it's really like, going out. At the point of ascending, you will always have a lot of voices inside your head, like your legs are tired, my legs are burning, should I give up, should I U-turn back, that kind of voices. So in trading, there's also many voices, like what if I enter now and then it comes back down, like a lot of different situations, a lot of voices inside your head. So you got to slowly build up your mental strength to deal with all these things. So that's number one, mental strength. And the second more important one is, I think, companionship. In trekking, I'm not sure just now at the photos whether you guys observed that actually my trekking group, it consists of mainly the same people.
Yep. I'm sharing it again, the pictures.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except for the middle one, but on the left and right, they are basically the same
The
group.
same group.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
And why this is so, because as I start went on with my trekking journey, you start to find your group of people who are of the same pace, same mindset, very easygoing. So it makes everything very, very wonderful. Your whole trip will be very wonderful. So in trading, the same thing applies. When you find a group of people who have the same mindset, who speak the same language, it's actually quite rewarding, and you don't feel the journey. You don't feel lonely in the journey, that you have someone to chat with when you do the trek. When you're tired, you have someone to encourage you, that kind of thing. So this is very important in trekking as well as in trading. This is the most important trait that I would link up both activities with. Yeah.
Yep, nice. So before we go, I think is there a favorite quote? You see here, there's a favorite quote by Regina. Maybe you want to explain about this quote, because this is an original quote from Regina. It's not copied from someone else. Yeah, maybe Regina, you want to explain about this? Yeah.
Sure. This quote, I came up with it myself, because it's basically how I operate in my life. Earlier on, before you start to mature, there's a lot of like what ifs, but that's very tiring if you keep thinking about what if. So then I learned on that as long as I do take action, and then while you take action, give yourself enough time to go through the whole process. That is the immerse part. And then repeat this process. Slowly you will realize a few things, whether you like it or not, whether it works for you, and whether it's something that you can continue to do so. And these three actions, right, will give you clarity in whatever you want to do. So the asking part, sometimes you might need, sometimes you might not need. But I also realized that there are certain things, when you do ask, you will get it most of the time. So basically, for me, after operating my life this way, I find that I take a lot of mental energy off certain things that are not within my control, and allow me the energy to focus on what I can control. So like in trading, I focus on going through it and see whether it's something I really can do. And yeah, it's something I can do. So that's why I'm continuing to do it now. Also with the same goes for tracking.
I see. So the keyword is ask, do, immerse, and reiterate. So it's always a process. Okay.
Correct.
That's very, very nice. Yeah, so before we go, I just want to say that we'd like to share with you our YouTube channel. So I also have a special gift for you from Regina, actually, because Regina, as one of our coach, right? So what she does is she actually is doing this series called UI Goes Deep. And actually, right, just now somebody is asking for tips, right? We won't say we have tips here, but he did a very in-depth YouTube video, okay, on this company called VMware, okay? And this was done, I think, in end February. And actually, there is one upcoming one, okay? I'm not going to tell you which company, but this is what this company is about. Is about, can our network actually handle the surge of traffic coming out when you see that there's a huge traffic of data coming out. So this company actually will cover this area. So I think, Regina, we shouldn't tell them what company it is. but we will actually premiere this on our YouTube channel. So please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ultimate Investing. We currently now have about 500 subscribers. So do subscribe to that. And we have actually about 60 to 70 videos there done by all the coaches and ourselves. So there's actually a lot of value there. So before I end this session, I'd like to thank Regina for accepting our interview. And once again, I think I would like to encourage people, our audience, to share this video, because remember, the more you share, the more you participate, okay, the chance of you winning the gift from Ultimate Investing become higher. Okay, so we will actually close the contest on this Sunday, so you can continue to share this post and comment on it, you know, and then we will actually disclose the winner on the Ultimate Investing Facebook page. Okay, so thank you so much for your time, Regina, and thank you so much for the audience for joining us on a Friday. So I'll say take care, and then have a good weekend for everybody. And Regina, any final words for the audience?
Yeah, now besides stay foolish and celebrate your wins.
Okay, so you not only need to stay foolish, but remember to celebrate every little wins, because that's how we move forward. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you, Regina, again. And then we'll see you again at the next Ultimate Investing Outliers interview. Okay, so stay safe and goodbye. Bye.